So fair a feline. The grace of her whiskers. She likes me. I know she does. But when I declare my love, she backs away. I don't know why. I have serenaded her and braved many a bucket of water for my efforts. But for some reason, she is not to be swayed. By all means.
Got my eye on you, Baron.
I am a duke, potato-eating peasant.
Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Source weapon? Doesn't solve the mystery.
Inspect the Councillor's corpse and see what clues we can find. Looking good. Might need to blow this one open.
It's official. The Duke of Farrell is the worst poet in Rivellon.
In his defense, not much rhymes with murder.
And so we meet yet another adulterous harpy. No doubt she's guilty as sin.
A Wolverine would have a more forgiving fuse.
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave?
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pockets. Ah, hello. I suppose you're here to viciously interrogate me for information I don't have, like our noble Captain Aureus before you. I am the Duke of Farrell, though I suppose my name is in the mouths of enough ruthless gossipers that you've heard of me by now. Yes, she and I have a history. That's hardly a secret anymore. I quite doubt it was even a secret from Jake while he lived. As easy as it would be to pin suspicions on Esmeralda or I assure you that the affair was never so steamy and sordid as the busybodies around town make it out to be. Jake and Esmeralda had no great affection for each other. He had his interests, she had hers, and there was little passion left between them. Certainly not enough to fuel a murder. Which one? I've written, Esmeralda, more works of lyrical mastery than I can count. All that letter proves is my devotion to my lady, not any actual intention to do away with Jake. It's very tragic news. I won't posture and say that the Counselor and I were anything near allies, but I truly never wish the man harm.
So you're just hanging around the inn, are you? Waiting for what, exactly?
I'll thank you to leave me be, you old rat.
Oh, you think you can speak that way to a... Well, suffice to say it, I've got my eye on you, Baron.
I am a duke, potato-eating peasant.
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be provided.
Join the stud club if you got an eye for farm potatoes.
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks? Or have those infernal statues sent another sad story, that. Though if I'm speaking plainly, the sentimental aspect of it all doesn't make much of an impression on an undertaker. Especially not these days, with so many. I just concern myself with giving the remains a respectable exit from life. We set him to rest in the northern graveyard. Perhaps he can finally get a little peace. What about it? Didn't I just say we gave it a respectable send-off? Why are you giving me the third degree?
I've got my eyes on the prize.
Everything we do seems to fortify your abilities.
What do you think you're doing?
The team hardly enjoys being confused with your...
Missed!
presence of all that even the gods cannot comprehend. It eludes us, like infinity, or the finality of tick-tocking.
And I'll be that's where I saw. Don't we all long for a sanctuary where our worldly troubles can be held at bay?
How intolerable it is to... And yet I am a tad jealous of that jabbering little jester. You'll rue the day you lend your trust to anything that is demon-touched. But this particular specimen, it delights in scholarship. A quality, I must admit, that highly speaks to its advantage. Let us learn, Hunter, whether you...
Flowers stink much longer. Deer will smell this lady from a field away. I'll save a leg of something good for when she begins to starve.
Actually, why don't you join her? Not for any titillating reasons, but because you could do with a dab of floral perfume about that quaintly odorous physique of yours.
Shut tight!
You will take me under your wing. But I see no feathers. Are you a child of the birds, as I am of the bears? In truth, this is a relief. Your world is made with rules, and so the lonely babe was fed upon the wild mother's milk, and cast aside from humankind, the wise godwolf Amira raised the child thrice among her litter. So you... Which I doubt you can even fathom, friend.
So you're just hanging around again, are you? Waiting for what, exactly?
Oh, thank you to leave me be, you old bat.
Oh, you think you can speak that way to us? Well, if I say I've got my eye on you.
I am a duke.
Come now, Alistair. Sure you've met your match one short way.
Ha! The crows decided tonight.
The death man is nervous as a squirrel. I'm certain he's hiding something.
You may be right. I suspect he has much more than mere skeletons hiding in his closets.
I've got my eyes on the prize.
Whatever happened to that group of eager imbeciles we sent on
They hustle and bustle, while I sit here stagnantly and watch it all go by.
Turn up when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pocket.
Dear me. How the coast reminds me of my long-fled youth. I sailed the sea. I walked the worlds.
Looks like the mortician has reason to suspect Mayor Cecil, Captain Aureus, Evelyn, and Esmeralda of something.
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks? Sad story, that. I just concern myself with giving the remains a respectable exit. This here's my family business. Yes, there's been a Roberts escort. How do you... Ah, the ledger, is it? Fool was I to leave it in the open. Or perhaps I even looked forward to being found out. Well, as you know, I have my suspects in the matter. What would you like to know? Plenty of us shopkeepers entrust the mayor with the spare keys to our businesses, you know. And he's the only person in town with a second copy of the key to the mortuary. He could have used it to sidle in without a peep, if he were so inclined. Aureus himself paid me a visit the night the body was delivered. Came rapping at my door in the frosty morning before the sun had even started peeping, and told me to tell him, and only him, if I noticed anything strange or suspicious about the remains. Can't see why he'd bothered to go through all that trouble, unless he knew something the rest of us don't. I know it sounds strange suspecting the doctor's apprentice of something so ghoulish as this, but there's few in this city could manage to transport a corpse without raising eyebrows. It was she who delivered Jake's body from the inn to the mortuary, and there was something about her that night, some kind of excitement. Seemed she could barely contain her thoughts, that there was something thrilling about to happen. I can't quite settle it in my mind how a young medical professional would have such a strange reaction to an occasion such as that. And this may or may not have anything to do with the whole rigmarole. But her master, Dr. Theleron, bought an old shack of mine, one overtaken by undead, for an exorbitant price considering what he was getting. I never did figure what he wanted it for, but he sure seemed eager. I never saw a widow less distraught at the death of her husband, and it was she who rang my bell just before the body was snatched. Lured me outside claiming she needed air before discussing the funeral arrangements. Some accomplice could have sneaked in and grabbed the remains while I was comforting the oh-so-overcome Esmeralda. That gold's the only good thing to come out of this blasted affair, and I certainly plan on making some use of it. Pillar of the community? Ha! Half this city doesn't know my name, and the other half regards me as...
Good stuff.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
What's this? I found something.
I give milk. I give wool. And what do I get in return? One way or another, they all...
Moo! Don't disturb Master Theliron now. He's been so busy with his research, the poor dear hasn't had a proper night's sleep in months.
Wiener shovels will do as we please.
That's right. Let's get digging.
All right, time to get digging.
Here's hoping we find something worthwhile.